Okay, here we go. It begins in... Why isn't it? Okay. It begins in 3, 2, 1.
At the end, I don't wear a mask for the same reason I don't wear underwear. Things gotta breathe.
The morning stream. The morning stream. The morning stream. The morning stream. The morning stream.
The morning stream. Voiceover man, Excelsior. What's my power, Brian?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the morning stream. It is Thursday, June 25th, 2020. This ends our podcast week for TMS. However, there will be a play date tomorrow. So don't you worry your little hearts. We're going to have some fun and do some stuff there. But we got a full show for you today. Brian Ibbett right over there. What are you doing? How's it going?
Oh, hi. Oh, hi. What is, what did he say, Excelsior Man?
He said, he just said, Excelsior, Brian, what's my power? Oh, voiceover man is what he said. So.
Voiceover Man, that's right. What's my power, Excelsior?
Do we ever...
ability to open a podcast program without actually being in contact with us for months. Hope you're okay, Scott Fletcher. Excelsior.
we get an occasional... Well, they don't call them pokes anymore, but you get an occasional thing on Facebook where it's like, oh, Scott Fletcher's doing great. Good to see Scott Fletcher.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's he's a private guy.
We miss him. He's a private guy.
He's a good guy. Private guy. All right. Hey,
private guy, what's his power?
Oh, I don't even want to know. Hey, we got a show to do. Let's do one. Excited to be here and do stuff. Hey, so a lot of times we just bring up things and then they get responses from listeners. For example, Star Wars Lego stuff. Was a big reply topic.
Talked about that with Bill with Punished Props.
Yeah, on Tuesday. And so tons of emails about this. I pulled one of these out. This one says Star Wars Lego Swede is the subject line or the nickname. The message is this. Hi, Scott and Brian. I just listened to you talk about Star Wars Lego with Bill, he said. He didn't say it that way, but he said Bill.
Are you sure he did? Because it looks like you said it that way.
He may have. He says, I grew up with that stuff. I was born in 1992. But I didn't remember it being so many custom-made parts. So I Googled some images, and sure thing, whole bunches of special bricks and stuff. But none of the ships looked like mine did. I know I had the X-Wing and the Y-Wing and the Slave One, for example. But the ones I had didn't look so good. He wrote once. That's incorrect. Anyway,
he's Swedish. Come on.
Yeah, the Swedes always put once in when they mean one.
Jeez. Scandinavian shaming right here.
Yeah, Scanda-shaming, right?
Scanda-shaming. I was trying to come up with a portmanteau, but I could not.
Shamed-Navian.
I was trying to come up with a poor man's toe.
There you go. Poor man's toe. You don't want a poor man's toe, trust me. Anyway, says, turns out Lego did multiple different sets of the Slave One, and if you Google Star Wars Lego 7144, you will see a Slave One ship that made of nothing but normal Lego bricks. Probably way cheaper, and that's why I got them. Hee. Love the show. Cheers from Sweden. So he makes a good point. There are sometimes it'll be a lot of pre-made parts, and then sometimes here's a bunch of bricks. Good luck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
So
that was the thing, right? I mean, it was the purists. It was the age of the Lego. No, we have these 11 types of brick.
Yep.
And these 7 colors, you have to make everything you want out of that. And
good luck to you. Godspeed.
And here's the funniest thing: when you do a search for Star Wars Lego 7144, the first thing that comes up for me is a YouTube video that says the ugliest Lego Star Wars set.
Oh, really? Is it considered an eyesore? Let's take a look at this then, because now I want to know.
It is. It's 8-bit versus today's 16-bit Lego products.
Okay, let's see. This is not well thought of. Lego.
Not well regarded, yeah.
Yeah, that's too bad. I mean, it looks. It's fine. It looks.
It's fine.
It is pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, that's all we wanted, right? Yeah. Actually, back in the day, this did come out in 2000, so it's only 20 years old. Yeah. It's not like this came out a week after The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's pretty ugly. Yeah, that's not. It's just simple. It's
a little on the boxy side.
Yeah.
It's like
it's low res.
It's like an Oldsmobile 98 compared to a nice Corvette.
Yeah, just a little low resolution is all. That new one you can get, that $300 slave one, is something else, man. That thing is amazing.
But you're paying $300 is the thing.
That's a really good point.
There's your trade-off. You want it to look smooth and convincing like a slave one, or you can have it look boxy and janky like Empire Strikes Back on the Atari made by Activision.
This all tracks. Well, anyway, we appreciate the feedback on that. We also got one from somebody named Squatch. I wonder if he's
Squatch. We've discovered him.
Yeah, we've discovered.
Look at
that. All we saw was footprints.
Squatch, and he has email access.
That's
so
right.
That's good.
That's good to know. We got good Wi-Fi out there in the Pacific Northwest woods. Here he says this. Listening to you guys talk about, or with Bill, about Lego, and Scott mentioned that Star Wars ships come pretty much built and you just put them together. There are beginner sets that are like that, but the regular ones, you have to piece it together one small piece at a time. I recently did the Y-Wing, and there's nothing pre-assembled about it. You could get the snowspeeder, put them together in a very Zen-like way. Love the show. So, confirming what the other guy's saying. It's basically just like, you can get there's different things you can get. All right.
Different flavors of Legos you can get.
You dump
bring me up, Bill.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a little... I don't want to say I'm worried about him.
Okay.
But I mean, maybe a little bit worried about him because, here's a guy who, pre-pandemic, was creating these amazing replicas and resin guns and armor and foam this and that and all this cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling like he's curled up on the floor in a fetal position, rocking back and forth playing Minecraft and building Legos right now.
Yeah, like actually, if you go look at his Twitter account, he finally put some pictures up of what he's recreating his place that he works, his shop in
the
Minecraft.
Shop that I don't think he's been to in months.
Yeah, the shop he can't actually that he's not using to build anything. He's making a fake version of it in Minecraft, and I don't know. Part of me gets it, and part of me's like, "Oh, is that what I don't want the pandemic to push him into Minecraft land." You know what I mean?
I feel like it would be the equivalent of, for me, of if we stopped doing this show, I stopped doing Coverville, and I just kind of sat on the porch or in a hammock and recorded myself singing songs into a handheld tape recorder every Wednesday at 1 p.m.
I like your idea for a show. Right, guys? Let's get a new...
Just me doing
yeah.
Blame it on the rain. Just like doing Milli Vanilli covers and rocking back and forth in my hammock. That's what I'd be doing.
Oh, why Milli Vanilli? Why did that come to your mind? Why is that the one you chose?
Because it is what I think of when I think of the most unnecessary band.
Oh man, they were pretty unnecessary.
They were kind of unnecessary. Like to cover a Milli Vanilli song, it's just like, all right, I'm gonna create a replacement for white bread.
Yeah, yeah, kind of. Kind of.
We had wheat. We didn't need white bread, but it's fine. It's okay that it exists. We certainly don't need a replacement for it.
No. Also, you said Bringing Up Bill. That's a great name for a show that Bill would do. Bringing Up Bill.
It's a great name for a movie starring. Let's see. It would star Elizabeth Taylor and a monkey.
Oh, perfect. Wait,
I think there was already a movie called Bringing Up Baby that was it Elizabeth? See, here's where Jeannie will correct me.
Oh, because she knows about
Bringing
old
Up
movies,
Baby.
yeah.
Bringing Up Baby was Elizabeth Taylor. Was it a chimpanzee or was
couldn't have been a gorilla? No way.
Not a gorilla, no, but I think like a chimpanzee or something. No, yeah. Jeannie said, Jeannie, all caps, no.
Yeah, an emphatic no. Holy crap.
No, what was Baby? Oh, it was Hepburn.
Was it Hepburn?
It was
Audrey
Hepburn.
Hepburn? Okay. Got it.
Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah.
A leopard, right? Baby was a leopard.
As we know.
Cheetah?
The baby was a leopard. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right. Wasn't Audrey Hepburn famous for having a bunch of exotic animals she wasn't supposed to have? Wasn't that a thing in her personal life?
Was she? I didn't know that.
She had like a baby deer or some weird thing like that.
She was our original Hollywood Tiger King, is what you're saying? Or
something
Tiger
like
Queen?
that. Yeah, she had like, let me see. Am I remembering this right? Audrey Hepburn animals. She had.
A baby was a leopard. That's definitely a show title.
Yeah.
It's definitely a nominee for show title.
It's pretty good. All right, so 21 things you didn't know about Hepburn, who would have been 85 on Sunday, May 14th or May 4th, 2014. But that was a while ago. She was a bit of a loner. She had very big feet. She had a pet deer. There's the deer.
Oh, she had a pet deer. Okay.
Okay,
All right.
so maybe that's all I'm thinking of, and it's just the deer. She was fluent in 5 languages. She is in the EGOT Club, which is
look at that.
Yeah, so that's
Your Emmy, your Grammy, your Oscar, and your Tony Award.
Yep, she lost her Oscar for a while. The actual statue got lost, but she found it.
Oh,
she almost
probably
played
a deer
Cleopatra. She was this close to Cleopatra. She could have been good too. That would have been all right.
Can I show you how far we've come as a society and entertainment with the movie poster for Bringing Up Baby? I'm going to put this in our Discord chat, and you can share that with the audience. And
Please
I
do.
encourage listeners at home, Google movie poster Bringing Up Baby.
Okay, I'm looking right now.
Okay.
Oh yeah, look at that. Okay.
And aside from the beautiful black and white portraits of Cary Grant and Katharine Hepburn, you've got what looks like a sketch of a leopard in a high chair.
Oh,
Eating out
jeez
of a bowl.
Louise. Yeah. Wow. And look at him.
It looks like the mock-up of what they were trying to describe they wanted the poster to look like.
Yeah, they were doing a pitch.
You just said, yeah, let's just do that.
It's like a Mad Men pitch in a room somewhere.
It totally is a Mad Men pitch. It's got that you remember those
Yeah.
those watercolor, were they Prismacolor watercolor pens?
Oh, I know what you mean though.
They were pens that did the watercolor.
They ran if you wanted. You could add more water to them, and they would run more and that sort of stuff. I remember those. I remember already I don't like watercolor because it's a chaos engine. Like watercolor just doesn't work with me. And so when you give me a pen and say, "Hey, it's watercolor in pen form," it's not better. It's harder.
It's not better. No. Oh wow, Captain Kipper found another movie poster, the horizontal version, the landscape version of the movie poster, and it's like somebody was trying to do a drawing of the first drawing.
Oh, look at that! Yeah. Oh wow. Well, they're really into the idea of like, let's have live action face overlay, and then let's also put a weird cartoon in it.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that was like, it's got Cary Grant holding a pocket watch. The leopard is, I don't know what the leopard's sitting on, but he's hovering in the air.
The leopard is hovering in the air.
He's got a diaper on, and for some reason he's got a tear.
Oh, yeah, look at that. He's got a little tear. Or is that just a bad sort of accent on the side of the face?
I think that's an intentional tear.
That dog is broken.
Totally broken. That's somebody who does not know how to draw dogs.
No.
Like, we'll put a real dog in there later.
Actually, everything about that art is not pleasing.
I do like how it looks like Katharine Hepburn and Cary Grant are glaring at that artwork, like they're staring down at that artwork.
Oh yeah, from up top. Yeah, let me go look at this here. Yeah, they're like, "What the frick is this?"
Exactly.
Oh man, it's almost as if the classic era was weird. Also, her name was not Audrey Hepburn, by the way. It was Audrey Kathleen Rustin. That's her name, and she was born.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was born in Brussels. So they called her the Muscles from Brussels for a while. Just kidding, that's not true.
Totally what they called her. Yeah,
that's not true at all. I made that up. She called herself Audrey Hepburn in 1948, and it stuck, and that was her name. Her favorite color was cyan, so she had at least one of the 4-color process for T-shirt printing done.
Her favorite. Where does this come from? Her favorite color was cyan. Is this Wikipedia?
It says cyan is a shade of light blue. Her favorite color was not black, even though she was very responsible for making the LBD popular. What's LBD?
LBD.
Larry's Big Ding Dong.
Careful. What?
I don't know what that is. LBD.
It comes up with Lewy body dementia, which I don't think is that.
No.
Little black dress. Okay, the LBD. Gotcha.
Oh, okay. So this is.
I don't want to gloss over the fact that Katharine Hepburn's favorite color was cyan, which is, it's like a color you use to make other colors. It's like saying my favorite flavor is baking soda.
You're right. It's also, cyan's like that color, you can call it blue, I suppose, but it's that kind of color that looks like it wants to just fall off one edge or the other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's ready to go, okay, I don't know what I'm ultimately going to be, but here I am. Oh, okay, I'm going to go this way and be more blue than I was, purple or whatever. Like it doesn't feel like a color that's set. It feels like it's not, it hasn't
I know
decided.
Cyan is a blue color. I mean, but it's not, no one says that, well, Katharine Hepburn apparently says that she likes cyan.
Yeah. Yeah, because
No,
she's
come on. Just say you like light blue. What's your favorite color? You don't need to go any further than that. Like, Oh, what's your favorite color? Oh, I like a raw umber. It's my favorite color, or a burnt sienna.
Yeah, yeah. She's not a fan. She also didn't says here. This is all on bustle.com, by the way. She says she didn't like to wear watches. Okay, so she wouldn't have been hip on the whole smartwatch scene today. It also says that she did not like the sensation of cold or weight against her skin. So if Cary Grant was both cold and heavy, get him off. Get him off is what they would say.
By the way, Bagheera points out, are we talking about Audrey or Catherine right now?
I'm sorry. We're talking about Catherine. Or sorry, Audrey. We're talking about Audrey.
We're talking about
I'm mixing them up, aren't I? Because Catherine.
Yes, right. Because Catherine was the one in Bringing Up Baby.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at the wrong Hepburn.
Yeah.
All right. So it's Katharine Hepburn did not have a weird ass deer pet. Audrey Hepburn did. Katharine Hepburn probably had her. That's probably her real name. Is Catherine, right?
Katharine Houghton Hepburn.
There you go. Yes. Well, best of luck to everybody involved. All right. We got Robbie in Idaho wrote in, says he's a sprinkler friend. For all the people complaining about the show being too political, I would like to take a look at Political Scott on Twitter and realize that there is so much restraint while Scott is doing the podcast. Love the show, though. Robbie in Idaho. And here's the sprinkler part. P.S. On the day that Scott had to get his sprinklers fixed, mine also broke and had to be repaired.
Whoa. It's almost like twin sons of different mothers.
I want to believe. Exactly. You know what? I have one of those handy just for this
I know you do.
thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm not playing it. There it is.
There it is.
It just kind of plays there.
By the way, did you ever watch? There were two episodes of the reboot of X-Files that I recommended. The only ones you need to watch that are part of the new.
I watched most of it, I think.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We did talk about that. You did watch that.
I think the tail end of it I missed. I kind of fell off, but I watched
the Lost Art
first
of Flop Sweat, I think is what, or the Lost Art of Forehead Sweat. Oh, what was it? X-Files reboot episodes. Because it was one that was talking about the Mandela effect.
Okay. That was good. You're saying that was a good one.
And that was a good one.
Okay.
That one was called The Lost Art of Forehead Sweat.
Okay.
And that one's good. It's
The Lost Art of Forehead Sweat.
Yes.
Okay. That's a weird name.
It features a character that was always in the X-Files that you never saw, Reginald Murgatroyd.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And then another episode, RMB9SBG93ZXJZ. It's really the only episode that's even titled remotely like that. So you just have to remember that it's a bunch of jumbled characters, jumbled letters.
Okay.
This is a Black Mirror episode disguised as an X-Files episode.
Interesting. I heard the Jay-Z part. It made me think of the rapper.
Right, because it does end with Jay-Z.
Yeah. Everything ends with Jay-Z.
Look for two. Those, like, if you liked the X-Files back in the day, and you started watching the new reboot and said, this isn't for me, and you gave up on it, don't worry, we all did. But two episodes that you need to go back and watch are those two right there.
Okay.
Lost Art of Forehead Sweat and R&B 9 blah blah blah.
I kind of like the lizard man, the one with Murray in it.
Oh yeah, right. From Bad Meeting. Yeah.
Bad Meeting. Yeah, Murray's amazing. I'll watch Rhys Davies, or however you say his name is. Mm-hmm. I'll watch him freaking eat a donut. That guy's great. He's just great. He should be in more things.
He should be in more things. One other quick recommendal.
Yeah.
Did you watch? How much of the new Amazing Stories did you watch?
None yet. None.
Okay. When you get around to watching that, there is an episode starring Robert Forster, the late great Robert Forster, who we think of fondly on this show and on Film Sack, and
he's great. We love that guy.
Things.
Yeah.
There's an episode about superheroes, comic book superheroes, starring Robert Forster that is excellent.
Really? Okay, and this is obviously it was right before he died, but this would have been recent, right? Like recent.
It was very recent. Yeah, I mean, this easily could be the last thing he did before he passed away.
Could be
either this or Gran Torino, the Breaking Bad follow-up.
They did. He had a tiny bit in that top end of the Better Call Saul season 4 or 5, whatever we're at. 5, I guess.
Did. Yep.
But I don't know.
El Camino, not Gran Torino.
Yeah, not
I was
Gran
confusing
Torino.
it in the Clint Eastwood, the Chris Eastwood movie.
Yeah.
You know the Chris Eastwood movie,
Yeah.
Gran Torino.
Yeah, Chris Eastwood, that guy.
Yes, where he yells at kids, "Get off my porch!" is what he says.
Yeah,
to kids.
Gran El Torino. Get those a little mixed up.
We
but
really are turning into a married couple, aren't we?
we kind of are. Get on your side of the bed, and where's my toothbrush? All right, so another note here of excitement from me. Chicken Run 2 is coming to Netflix, and I'm very excited about this. It's one of my favorite animated films of all time. It's 20 years old now, which is nuts to think about. Came out in 2000. In fact, it was the last, I've said this on the show before, it was the last movie my dad saw before he passed away. Saw it the night before he died, which doesn't mean anything except now it's got that, it's got that on it. But my kids and I, we have a giant poster in the movie room in there. We love Chicken Run. However, I am aware that maybe Hollywood thinks that Mel Gibson's a little problematic these days. So, will Mel Gibson be the voice of the chicken, the main chicken dude? I don't know. The rumor is he's not involved, and that'll make some people happy. But I'm just stoked because Chicken Run is great. Sadly, Mr. Tweety, people who know this movie will know what I'm talking about. Mr. Tweety, the guy who played him, died. He passed away not long ago. And one other character. Oh, the guy that played the colonel, the Royal Air Force, British Air Force colonel chicken. He also passed away. But all the lady chickens and other male chickens. All the lady chickens. Right. This is it. This song is what I was hoping we'd get to. They're all alive, and Aardman's doing it, and it's direct to Netflix, and I'm so stoked I can barely stand sitting here talking about it because I love Chicken Run. Brian, did you see Chicken Run when it came out? Oh, no. Brian.
No, I know. I'm ashamed. That's one of those movies that's like the Wait You Haven't Seen. Like TV's Travis does a podcast called Wait You Haven't Seen ... And it's all about movies like this. For him, I finally watched Jumanji.
Oh, right. Was that your movie for that?
Yeah. And so here's another one that I'm embarrassed to say I've never seen. I've seen other. What was the guy and his dog that's also Aardman Studios? Wallace and Gromit. I've seen other Wallace and Gromit stuff.
What's the guy and his dog?
The guy and his dog.
Have you seen the Shaun of the Sheep of the Shaun of the Sheep or whatever?
I did not see Shaun the Sheep either. I limited my Aardman viewing just to Wallace and Gromit apparently, and did not see any of the alternative Aardman productions that did not involve Wallace and or Gromit.
They make great movies, and Chicken Run's amazing. And I was so sad when they, I don't know if you remember in the news some years ago, this had probably been, I don't know, 6 years, 7 years ago, whatever it was, their studio burned down. And so all of their Chicken Run models, all that plasticine, all the sets, all the Wallace and Gromit sets, all that stuff just got completely destroyed. Sad. But they're resilient. They're making a new one. I'm totally stoked. I don't know if Nick Park will be directing it. He directed the first one. He's the founder of Aardman, or one of the co-founders. So I don't know if he'll be involved or not. But Chicken Run 2 coming to Netflix, baby. Woo!
Nice.
Finally,
I'm excited about Netflix again. Well, I mean, we like Netflix, but I mean, Cobra Kai coming.
Yeah.
Right. Finally get to see season 2 of that and future seasons. And I don't know. I feel like Netflix has the legs to keep that thing going and make it better than YouTube Red or whatever it was.
Oh, by far.
Could do.
Totally can. Yeah. It's the right move. I don't know what the deal was to make it happen, but I'm really glad they did. Mm-hmm. And I still haven't seen it at all, so I'm really excited.
Oh yeah, you're in for such a treat.
Are the first
two
not
what you expect just from initial thoughts?
Are the first two seasons up now? Are they there now?
First 2 seasons are not there now. Middle or end of July, I think, and then they'll get those 2 up there first, and then they'll follow it with season 3 once that's finished and ready.
I'd love that in concept alone. I haven't even seen it. Just love the idea that they figured out a way to make that work. All right, finally, this 8675309 number that we keep talking about. This is
for a good time call.
Yeah, Thomas wrote in and says, talking about the 8675309 song reminded me about when I worked for a very large cable company in the Puget Sound in the early 2000s. We started offering local phone service in the area. One of my coworkers lived in the prefix that was 867, so naturally, she requested the number 8675309. With her new phone number, her name was naturally Jenny. Her name was Jenny. She canceled the number after about 4 months due to calls at 3 a.m. from drunk guys hearing the song and calling it. Then being freaked out. Then being freaked out, the girl on the phone was indeed named Jenny. So she got all kinds of heat for that. And she quit
I
the
mean, you'd
number.
have to do that. You'd have to, if you got that phone number, when you get somebody that asks, if your name isn't Jenny, when somebody asks, "Hi, is Jenny there?" Then yeah, hold on one sec. And you come back, "Hello." You know, you just kind of see what they do.
I think nowadays, like if it was your cell phone, a lot easier to manage because you can basically silence anything that isn't on your favorites list.
Mm-hmm.
And so if people are just going to jerk you around, no big deal.
That's why it'd be so great to have as a Google Voice number or a what's the
Is there another thing?
it's what the 800 number, Coverville 800 number was. Call 8, KALL 8.
Oh, I remember those.
That was the whole thing for podcasters, so they could have a call-in voicemail line. They would use call 8. It was like $4 a month. It was ridiculously cheap. I think you could even get a free one if you didn't care about it being an 800 number.
That's
it's still around.
Still a thing, yeah. Get your own toll-free number now, starting at just $5 a month.
Does it still look like a site that was designed in 1996?
No, more like one designed in 2010, I would say.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, that's better. That's way better.
Yeah, there's some features here that seem modern.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I don't know. I could go for an 800 number right now.
I don't know about you, Brian, but I could really go for an 800 number.
I didn't know this still existed. I thought it was a long gone thing of the early podcast era when we were all trying to get fake numbers for people to call. But now I use Google Voice, so I guess I don't need it. But I don't know. I kind of like the idea of an 800 number. Anyway, so there you go. Thank you, Thomas, for your message. I wanted to make sure to get a few. We're getting more and more email. Mm-hmm. Some of it not great. But
I saw that
it,
little clip of a message, and you just sent me like 1/9 of
it was
9
gigantic.
paragraphs.
It was
gigantic.
It was gigantic. But I also don't want to give that guy any more oxygen.
Yeah.
So instead, we're. But anyway, the point is, you guys are really using that, and that's great. Go to the website frogpants.com/TMS, and we'll read more of your messages because I like your feedback and I like hearing what you have to say. All right, Brian.
I like feedback. It's not a good one. It's got to end.
It's all right.
Sound.
It's all right.
Yeah,
it's not the worst thing you've said. It's fine.
All right.
This is the info we've been waiting for.
Time for the news, brought to you by.
Have you heard the Sword and Laser podcast with Tom Merritt and Veronica Belmont? No? Well, Veronica's going to be very mad at you. And after TMS ends, go ahead and subscribe to it. All the coverage of science fiction and fantasy reading you can handle. Just search for Sword and Laser in your podcast app of choice.
Very nice.
I'm going to, but just based on Frog Pants All-Stars, I never want to perpetuate the fact that Veronica Belmont is anything but sweet. But boy, she sure would get mad during those games.
Yeah.
And it's the thing that it's like the funniest thing to kind of poke at her. Like, how competitive and
she's very competitive, yeah. In a way that's endearing. I mean, it's a fun kind of competitive, but do not, like if you're going to be in a game, any kind of quiz contest, whatever with her, and if anything goes awry, we're all dead. We're all dead. She'll just destroy us. She's a destroyer of worlds. We've mentioned that before. She destroys worlds. I was talking to her last night. She is the sweetest person on the planet, and she's always really nice, but man, get her in the ring. Good luck to you. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Here's our first story. Hey, Brian, if you want to attract women,
yes,
keep your cat out of your dating profile.
Oh, sorry, Inara, you're not going to be in any photos.
No more dating photos.
My Tinder photos anymore.
Yeah, or Grindr is what you meant. You meant Grindr, right? Grindr.
Okay, I'm on all of them. I'm not picky.
Is Grindr still a thing? Can I get on Grindr if I wanted?
Yeah, I think you could if you wanted. Yes, I think Grindr is still a thing.
Let me just look.
I think that.
I'm gonna look real quick. Okay,
sure. Put that in your search history.
Yeah, let's show that I looked up Grindr. Okay, here we go. Grindr.com. Why isn't it? Okay, there it is. Oh, geez, get away from me. All right, world's largest social networking app for gay, bi, trans, and queer people. Okay, it's still here. Get it on iTunes, the Play Store, or wherever you get your Grindr. Get your Grindr on. Okay, anyway.
Get your Grindr on. Yeah.
It says this, by the way, this is a Colorado State story, so you'll enjoy this. This is a local
good
thing.
Colorado connection.
Yep. It says we have catastrophic news for animal lovers. I didn't write that, they did.
If they use the perfect, if that's anywhere in this story, we're done.
Yeah, we're out. No more show. We're done. We quit the show. TMS had a good run. Thanks, everybody. Good night. Let's see if that happens. Anyway, it says men who like cats are less likely to get a date. That's a takeaway from a study by Colorado State University, which found that women are less likely to swipe right or say yes, is what the swiping right means, to men if they are posing with a cat in their photo. Scientists showed hundreds of women photos of two men, both men pictured with and without a furry companion.
I just put the photo in the chat room so people could see it.
Oh, good. I like it. I like that.
It's funny that it's you've got A and B. Each dude is got just a photo of him smiling at the camera and then a second photo of him holding the same cat.
Yep.
So maybe what they need to do though is figure out, all right, maybe women don't swipe right on tabbies, but maybe if you have a nice calico or a
wouldn't it depend a little bit on the kind of cat? I mean, I don't know. I'm no expert.
Probably not a tiger.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you know what? It's funny. I look at this and I'm a straight male, cisgendered, whatever I am. Mm-hmm. But I look at this photo and I go, yeah, I would rather not have the cat in there. And I don't know why my brain's saying that. Like, I guess that's the point of the study, but I don't.
What about if you're holding a giant plastic dinosaur?
I mean, hold me back, Brian. Hold me back. I think I'm really in now. In fact, it's gonna distract me the rest of the show about this giant dinosaur idea you've got. It says here, let's see. Scientists showed hundreds of women the photo of the two men. Their response showed that men's luck got noticeably worse when the women saw the profile with a kitty. Men holding cats were viewed as a quote as less masculine, more neurotic, agreeable and open, and less dateable. I like that agreeable and open are wedged in there in these other negative things. According to the author, when shown the cat-free pictures on one of the subjects, 38% of the women said they were more likely or very likely to casually date that person, while 37% they did consider a serious relationship with him. But picture the same dude holding a cat. The respondents, and they gave the respondent. Oh, Brian, you're going to hate this. Okay, I'm going to read that sentence again. You're going to hate this. Just be prepared, okay? I know you're not sitting, but just be prepared.
Okay, all right.
But a picture of the same man holding a cat gave the respondents pause for thoughts. For thought, rather. How do you spell pause, do you think?
Oh, PAWS?
They got us.
Oh,
they did
CNN.
it.
Come on.
They did it. Anyway, those numbers dropped to 33% in each category. Meanwhile, the proportion of women saying they would never consider getting involved with him rose from 9% to 14%. So yeah, don't be putting your cat. I wonder if dogs would be any different though. That's interesting, right? What if it was a big, burly looking freaking, pit bull looking dog?
Yeah, that is the question. Psychologically, are the women looking at these profiles thinking, wow, he cares about his pet so much that he wants to have it in his dating profile. I might come a close second in that relationship.
Maybe that's the subconscious thing.
Yeah. Or a dog might be worse because it's like, okay, well, he can't come and spend the night because he'd have to go back to his apartment to let his dog out, or back to his house to let his dog out, or whatever.
Oh, good point.
There's all sorts of subtle psychological things that could be going on with that.
Yeah. It does have that effect, though. It's weird. I look at it and I go, I would rather have lunch with dude A than dude B with the cat, even though that's the same exact guy, and it's all contrived.
All right. Well, let's turn around though and say it's a picture of a woman.
Okay.
Right, holding a cat.
If it's a
woman,
woman
I definitely would
cat,
be less inclined.
Yeah, I would too. To
date a woman holding a cat in a dating profile, because I figure she might only be holding one of her 13 cats.
Yeah. No, that is it, right? Like, we don't know. It feels like we don't want to end up with Aunt Gail from freaking Bob's Burgers or something.
Right, exactly.
Mr. Business, Mr. Business. I love the name of that cat, though, Mr. Business. But anyway, yeah, that's a thing, dude. I don't know how I feel about any of that. It's a weird. I love stuff like this because, like, who would have known? Like, who would have guessed any of this would be a thing, right?
Right.
It's great. Love it. Study. School.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, do your work.
Colorado State University. It was like I glossed past that, but okay.
Yeah, Colorado State, man.
Good old CSU. All right, CSU. Well done.
Wait, I'm gonna see if I know their mascot. Hold on.
Oh, yes.
The Colorado State floor monkeys. I have no idea.
The mole people. The Colorado State University mole people.
The mole people. The chud. Go Chud.
No, CSU, I believe, are the Rams. That's up in. It's funny because Barry Folk's daughter was in charge of helping take care of their Ram mascot that would run around at football games and stuff.
Okay. Now, see, yeah. Okay. Well, you live there. You would know.
I do.
All right, we're done with that dumb story. Let's move on to this one. I like the animal stories, though, so I got this one about an iguana. An 80-pound iguana was found in a freezer in South Florida in a pizza restaurant. I don't know why this made me laugh. I don't even
Show was in Tijuana.
I love that song. That song's great.
Yeah, Mexican radio, Wall of Voodoo.
Oh, so you know all the details. You're a walking ID3 tag is what you are.
That's right. Oh, Brian only likes music from the 80s. Oh, he likes 8675309, but try and give him, ask him about a Bastille or Miley Cyrus. He won't know anything about it unless somebody covered it.
The jury will now retire.
Too fun. You know what? Clip all that and send that.
All of that is true.
Clip all that and send that to jury. All right, just send that whole bit.
I'm sure. I have no doubt that all of our talk yesterday got clipped out and sent to Schwood and Jerry.
Yeah, because we enjoy our fake rivalry with them. It's fun.
There's nothing but love.
Yeah, well, it's a little bit of annoyance, but mostly love. Mostly love.
Not even a little bit.
It's like a real family. You love them, but sometimes they annoy you. It's like that.
Not even when every time Brian Brushwood meets Tina, he acts like he's meeting her for the first time.
Yeah,
Not
like,
even that.
Oh,
Not
hey,
even
who are you? No, have we met? Yeah, he does that.
Exactly. Hi, Brian Brushwood. Nice to meet you. What's your name? I do magic. Yes, this is my real hair.
I had the memory of a goldfish, a whole goldfish. All right, let's move on.
Love you, Brian Brushwood.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. All right, Okay, so here's the deal. If you got a dead iguana, if you got a dead 80-pound iguana, do not store it in your restaurant. That would be my advice. One West Palm Beach joint learned that lesson after a visit from a state inspector, although the massive reptile would prove to be the least of their worries. Anyway, Pizza Mambo, located somewhere on the Dixie Highway, was temporarily closed down for one day on June 18th after an inspection from the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation uncovered a litany of violations, including, but not limited to, an iguana about 80 pounds worth stored in a chest freezer. There's not one that's strapped to their chest, like
gotcha. Okay.
Like the floor one you have.
I want to see an image of what an 80-pound iguana would look like. 80 pounds is enormous.
Yeah,
that's almost like feels like a half a Gila monster.
Yeah, exactly right. Let's see. The green iguana is the one that gets real big. Let's see. I'm gonna try to find one. Trying to find a real big one so you can compare it to like somebody holding it. Oh yeah, you can see how these would get okay, that's ridiculous. Here, I'll put this in the Discord. The Discordia. Here you go, Brian.
I did find a picture of a cat and iguana cuddling up together, and I said, all right, use this for your profile picture.
Oh, nice. I like it.
Yeah.
You'll get all the dates.
Those are 80-pound iguanas?
Yeah, well, they're younger, but those will get bigger even. So that's not even full size. They're pretty freaking big. I'm trying to find one that says the weight, but I can't find one. But they're big beastie things. And they're pretty dense, and I don't mean dumb. I mean they're they're thick with two C's kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyways, so the point is, the natural follow-up question is, why was there an 80-pound iguana kept in a restaurant freezer? While the store owner couldn't be reached for comment, Pizza Mambo employee told the South Florida Sun Sentinel. You ever been there, the South Florida Sun Sentinel?
I have totally been to the South Florida Sun Sentinel. I'm trying to remember the name of there were two women that I worked with that had exactly the same voice, and so whenever they called, because I was on their support detail as well. Like they had my direct line when they needed support, and
they were Florida women. That's what you're saying.
They were Florida women. Yes, exactly. South Florida Sunset.
Nice. Let's see. Iguanas, which have run rampant through South Florida, are considered a delicacy by some, including one company that offers iguana sausages and iguana burgers. Now, I've had something close to this. I've had alligator burgers, and I've had alligator crocodile Or maybe was it both alligator? I don't remember. I've had a lot of alligator before, and it is really good.
I've had alligator and alligator sausage, crocodile sausage.
They're good. It's very good. Yeah.
I've never had iguana. I don't know.
I know. What do you think it tastes like? Just like a weird...
It probably tastes pretty similar to alligator or crocodile, like the lizard meat's a little bit
seems more tender,
a little
maybe
bit gamey. Yeah,
a little more tender, a little oily or something, maybe.
Frog legs. You had frog legs? Rainbow Brett wants to know.
I have had frog legs once, and they literally tasted like chicken.
Yeah, just like wet chicken, or like really moist.
Yeah, like a moist chicken. Yeah,
moist chicken. Moist chicken.
I have a sister-in-law that can't stand the word moist, and we'd love to say it around her just to make her squirm and stuff. She doesn't like the word. Okay, here are the 3 words she hates: moist, ejaculation, and penetration.
Okay, I can understand you and you're having dinner with her, and the topic. Oh, the steak is really moist, or like, oh no, how'd you get this grilled chicken so moist? But how do ejaculation and penetration come up in just normal conversation?
Well, I'll say things like, this is here is a scenario. Although this didn't happen Sunday, but you could imagine this. Steve would bring out like all the ribs, and that he cooked, and you could say, "Oh, I can't wait to penetrate these ribs," and then she would go, "Oh man!"
It would be more like you would actually shoehorn them, bludgeon them into conversation.
Yes, and I would do like Harry Potter style, because this happened a lot in the Harry Potter books, where I could tell a story and say, "Oh yeah, then my friend did this right before he ejaculated. Don't go in there." Instead of saying he exclaimed or he said or he yelled, you could do that.
Sure. The market penetration of Quiznos in the South Alabama area is quite impressive.
Exactly.
I was reading the other day about the market penetration of
there's a great line. Oh, is there audio from this? Hold on. The Harry Potter books, they have this quote where the line is, Ron ejaculated loudly, but really he was just yelling in class. But when you read that or hear it in the audiobook, it's like, what the frick are you doing, J.K. Rowling? What are you doing?
I mean, something different to her.
I guess so. She's in trouble right now anyway.
She's a very lonely woman.
She's very lonely. All I have is my billions of dollars to rub on
very lonely. And nobody ever tells me that I say things inappropriately.
How do I know? I just spew them on Twitter and hope for the best.
I don't know why she talks like this. Anyway, iguana, don't do it. Don't have an iguana. Hey, remember the Little Rascals, the old Little Rascals thing? It's way before our time, right?
The old TV show? Sure.
Sure. Well, Little Rascals actor from the 1994 Little Rascals movie, I guess.
Okay.
Was there a movie in 94?
Yeah. Oh, there was totally a movie.
Okay. I don't remember that. But anyway, the actor who played the role of Alfalfa, it always seems like the Alfalfa kid, no matter what generation, is the one in trouble. Because remember, the original Alfalfa kid, didn't he was all into drugs and hung himself or something weird?
Oh, I thought you meant that the character of Alfalfa was always in trouble. It's I mean, he's like the
right, because they're rascals.
But the actual actor in trouble.
Yes, the original actor from the 50s or 40s, whenever that thing was on, it was a bad scene for him, and now we have a new Alfalfa who's in trouble. So this kid,
Bug Hall is the new kid, by the way, or was the new kid.
What's his name? Alcohol? What'd you say?
Bug Hall.
Oh, Bug Hall.
It's
right here. Brandon Bug Hall. His first name is Brandon, I guess. Anyway, he was arrested this past weekend in North Texas, according to a report from the Weatherford Police Department. Officers were called to a hotel, and they had to check on a possible overdose. When they arrived, they found 35-year-old Brandon Bug Hall Barnett in a room with multiple air duster cans. He reportedly admitted to inhaling from the can. So he's a huffer, dude. He's a huffer.
Oh, no.
Yep, he's a Hufferton Post is what he is.
Ariana Hufferton.
Yeah, Ariana Hufferton.
Oh, darling, you're supposed to breathe in all the gasoline from the can you're huffing.
Such a deep cut, because she even involved with the Huffington Post anymore. They just carry on with her name.
I think she does. I think she sold it, right? I don't think she has anything to do with it.
Yeah.
I don't know what she does now. She used to be sort of political. She was always weird. I don't know what she's doing now. I have no idea.
I guess they've shortened it to the Huff Post. Maybe that separates it from it being connected to Ariana.
Why would you want to have the word huff sucks, though? You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
well, like for this guy, but also just the word huff. It's like, oh, hey, it's the little boy just showed up as we're talking about drugs and drug abuse. Come here for a minute. Come here, buddy. I just want to see you for 1 second so the chat room can see you. Say hi. Look, he's just like a little man now.
Hello, look at all that hair.
I know. He's like a little
Where'd you
man.
get all that hair?
Where'd you get all that hair, buddy? Oh, stand up so you can see you. Nope, you want to sit, do you? Okay.
He's like, look at all these buttons and lights.
Yeah, he loves it in here. He loves it in here
See me
because yeah. See, look at Brian waving. You see that? You want to wave back? Say hi. No, you don't want to.
No, that guy scares me. Grandpa, help me.
Here, he'll give me a high
Protect
five.
me from the scary bald man.
Oh, you can't see it. High five. There you go. Oh, he just taps it. Here you go. All right, sorry. Quick visitor, and he has got a pooper going. Bun in the oven. Woo! All right, sorry. Where the heck was I? Oh yeah, so this little Rascals kid.
Ariana Huffington not involved.
Oh yeah. And just the word huff is just a, I don't know. It feels like a negative term to me. Oh, he was all warm and sweaty. He must have been outside. Sorry.
Hope that's sweat.
I do too, dude. He had a poo going. I know that. I can tell you that for positive. Anyway, he was arrested and charged for possession or use of a volatile chemical, which is a misdemeanor. Let's see. Is there ever anybody with the last name Demeanor and you could call her Misdemeanor? Do you think that ever happened?
That's used. I mean, there's a lot of people who like Misdemeanor Elliott does the whole call me Misdemeanor.
Oh right, she did do. I liked Missy Elliott. Get your freak on. Get your freak on. She was great.
And that backwards. She was
cool, and her videos had like a cool frenetic weird thing going on all the time.
Yeah,
She was rad.
like weird special effectsy stuff going on.
Yeah, she's cool. Anyway, the Weatherford resident who is best known for his lead role in Little Rascals in the 90s, he was also appeared in The Big Green, don't know what that is, The Stupids, and Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves, and various other TV shows up until 2018.
He's also in Baby Driver.
Oh, was he? He's not in Baby Driver, is he? Really?
He was in Baby. He wasn't the Baby Driver, but he was in Baby Driver. He was probably one of the gang members or something. If you have not seen Baby Driver, now's the time.
Still haven't.
We're enough past the Kevin Spacey stink. It was like, oh, too soon to start thinking about Kevin Spacey. But now it's like, yeah, you can just see that and not think about Kevin Spacey as much as you can think about how good Ansel Elgort is in that.
I'd watch it anyway because I really like who makes the movie.
Hold on a second. Sidian says Ansel Elgort also raped someone. Please tell me.
No.
Oh, Talia's saying that too.
Don't
get out of here. Really?
Really?
Oh,
I just found out about Cass. What's his name yesterday? I saw a bunch of his secrety messages somebody posted. It's like, dude, the guy from The Expanse, the Cass Anvar is his name, I think. He plays I forget the character, the pilot of the ship. He's a fan favorite, and the bunch of like some private messages he sent got leaked, and oh my gosh, dude, what is wrong with you guys? What is wrong with everybody? Just keep your wiener where it is. Keep your wiener here. Find a nice girl who really loves you, and then you can have your wiener out then.
Yeah,
okay?
Exactly.
Keep the wiener there, and don't be wagging it around or acting like, hey, I'm an actor at a con. You wanna? Hey, look at me. Come see my
come
wiener.
Back to my hotel room and get nasty. Hey, it still has Shane from Walking Dead. Is he okay still to like say, all right, he's good?
I think he's all right. I've heard nothing but good things about him and his earlobes, so he's fine.
Ginormous earlobes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Edgar Wright, that's who I meant, the director. He's great. So unless somebody wants to tell me that's got some horrible news around it. Well, it's been a rough week for all that. And today, actually, with Wendy, we're going to talk about the gaming side of it because that got real weird. All right. Speaking of which, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be spending some time with Wendy, do a little Therapy Thursday, talking about some late breaking, ripped from the headline stuff. So stick around for that, and then more. So come back after this song Brian's going to play.
Okay, yeah, do that, or stay here through the song that Brian's going to play.
Sure.
Shane Maddox, our friend.